This whiskey says it's rare, but does that mean it's any good?
Let's find out in this week's review. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Matt and I'm the Whiskey Nerd.
I'm Rose and I'm the Whiskey Noob.
And like we said, this week we're looking at Eagle Rare. So let me get it into the glass and I'll tell you a little bit more about it.
Okay, I'm curious to learn about this one.
Yeah, so Eagle Rare is made by the Buffalo Trace Distillery. And it's made with their #1 mash bill, which they don't publicize, but people suspect it's like 75% corn, 15% malted barley, and 10% rye.
And corn is sweet, right?
Corn would be quite sweet. So it's quite a sweet, high kind of corn, low enough on the rye mash bill, so it shouldn't be very spicy.
Okay.
And it's actually owned overall by the Sazerac company, who make a lot of really top-end premium bourbons, including Pappy Van Winkle and all those kind of top-shelf bourbons. But this is more of their kind of entry level into the kind of top-shelf premium bourbons.
Ooh, okay. I'm excited to give it a try. Have I had this before?
Maybe not. No, I did actually review this on the channel a while back. But it's been a long time and you are getting more into drinking bourbon because you're a bit of an Irish whiskey fan.
Ah, yeah.
So I figured I'll give it a look again and bring you on camera and have you kind of taste it and see what you think as a person who's getting into bourbon, because this is often cited as one of those bourbons that people would move to after they have the classic kind of Buffalo Trace or the entry level bourbons.
So you gotta see what I think about it.
Yeah.
So you said that the company or the folks who make this, they make like top shelf kind of whiskey, bourbon kind of things. But this is supposed to be the entry level one, but it says rare. So how can you have rare and entry level?
Well, first off, it would be just that it's a name, but it is actually a little bit hard to find in America. Now, interestingly enough, we're in Ireland. At shops that sell bourbon, it's actually pretty easy to find Eagle Rare in Ireland. I've heard they can be quite hard to find in America. I know the recommended retail price is pretty low, but I have seen some shops online selling it at like $60, $70, even $90 plus tax.
Ooh.
Whereas in Ireland you can get a bottle for €50 including tax. So it can actually be, I think, maybe because it's quite highly sought after, just a lot of people looking for it in America compared to in Ireland. So it is, in some states, definitely going to be quite a rare whiskey.
Okay, so in the US it's rare, but in Ireland it's Eagle less rare.
Eagle less rare, provided you go to a good bottle shop that stocks a good quality bourbons and things like that. But I think that's, it does come in at 45% ABV.
Ooh, that's a good amount.
So it's going to be a good amount, but 90 proof. It's not going to be super hot. It's not going to be down the floor.
And there's corn.
A lot of corn, so it's going to be a nice, easy drinking whiskey. Comes in at 10 years old. At least they do say some of the whiskey could be older than 10 years old, but it does have that 10-year age statement, so it's going to be 10 years old. So let's go in for the nose.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers, Slancha.
It is quite sweet on the nose. Like there's a lot of like kind of toffee and caramel and sweetness from that charred oak.
I'm getting a lot of more of like spiciness. I know with the corn it's not supposed to be spicy, but then I also get like just kind of a strong bit of just alcohol smell. It's kind of hard for me to get into the details of it, to be honest.
There is like that bit of kind of a little bit of ethanol in there.
Yeah.
But I think it's really coming through with that spiciness from the oak barrel. Like it did spend 10 years in the oak barrel. So you're gonna get,
that might be what I'm getting then.
You're gonna get a lot of that kind of harder spice, that oak spice, that really, the kind of like the tannins from the oak, like that oak sap, that really kind of hard hitting spice that you wouldn't see maybe in like an Irish whiskey or a Scotch whiskey or even in a Japanese whiskey or something like that. You would get more of that oak bite up front, and maybe...
Is this like fresh oak, or was there something in...
It'll have to, so if it's a bourbon, it has to be aged in virgin oak. Entirely in virgin oak. They can't use other they can't
otherwise it's not bourbon.
Otherwise it's not bourbon.
Is it whiskey?
It would be whiskey, but that kind of category isn't really big in America.
Okay.
There are some brands like Angel's Envy and other brands that you might like that do a port finish on a bourbon, but this is just going to be a straight up bourbon with no other casks in
Roger
there.
Dodger.
I am getting like a feeling of, you know, like at a campfire where you get a marshmallow and you toast the marshmallow over the fire.
Yeah.
And you get that kind of toasted, almost charred marshmallow, which really, really sweet, but you still get that kind of campfire char vibe.
I get a little campfire vibe.
Yeah, getting a little bit of that coming through, but it is a very sweet kind of approach on the nose.
Yeah.
There's not a huge amount of weight coming out. Like aside from that oak spice, maybe a little bit of like fruitiness, not really fully orange, maybe a little bit of apple, but there's a bit of fruitiness in there, but it's not really strong. It just leading up with that kind of bourbon, the corn, the oak. So I think we'll go in for the palate.
Let's see.
Cheers.
Sláinte. I'm getting like a bit of that spiciness coming through, and that like campfire-y vibe with like a burnt something sweet.
Burnt something sweet, yeah, like that kind of marshmallow again.
Maybe,
Yeah, like it is quite sweet, a little bit drying almost, like like I was saying with those oak spices, the oak tannins, and getting a little bit of that coming through as well. Like it is quite sweet. It's definitely, again, more caramel, toffee, bit of vanilla, kind of butterscotch, that kind of vibe.
Okay.
But with those oaky, spicy, darker notes and that bit of a drying note on the mouth.
The drying bit actually kind of reminds me of like an almond, because you know, like not the shell, right?
The skin,
of the almond, that can be a bit drying, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like a light flavor. So I feel like I get a little bit of that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in for another sip and see if I find anything else. Second sip round, I'm getting again more of that kind of spiciness, more of that. It definitely, the first sip I got a bit more sweetness.
Okay.
Second sip, more of that kind of dryness, more of that kind of feeling as it's kind of setting into my palate, as it's setting into my mouth.
Yeah.
I'm getting more of that kind of.
So sweet then spicy.
Sweet then spicy.
And I'm getting spicy.
You're getting spicy.
And almondy.
Any particular kind of spice? Black pepper, white pepper?
Ooh, a pepper. I think I got a little bit of white pepper.
A little bit of white pepper. I could see that, that kind of the finely powdered white pepper, a little bit of that kind of, a little bit of spiciness coming through.
Yeah. I think that makes sense, because in the States I would have a lot more white pepper and black pepper mixed together, but here I get more black pepper, so I feel like I can call out the white pepper a little bit better.
Okay. Well, do you want to go in for the finish? See what lasts long. It is 45%. Should have a decent finish, but from my palate I'm getting not the hugest finish, but we will discuss it.
Let's find out.
Sláinte. Okay. So on the finish, like you get that sweetness, you do get it, and then you get like almost like a dark cocoa powder.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, like that kind of.
Or like a dark chocolate. Cocoa powder works too.
Yeah, where you get that really like rich cocoa, and it is that. It's not like drying. It's not bitter. It is a little bit bitter, but not like in a bad way.
No.
It's like that enjoyable, like the same way
like
you
if
get.
you like dark chocolate, you'd like this.
Yeah, the same way you get like in an espresso, something where it's a bit bitter, but it's the bitterness you want. That kind of vibe. Still quite sweet. That does fade off. It doesn't have the longest of finishes.
No, it faded fairly quickly for me.
Yeah.
But it was a nice journey.
Yeah, and again, getting a little bit of like that tannins, kind of like after you've had a bit of a red wine.
Oh yeah, my mouth is kind of like salivating
on the edge of your cheeks, you get that.
Yeah, and I've got a little like spiciness on my tongue.
Yeah, but it's a solid bourbon. Like as a non-bourbon fan, initial thoughts.
Ooh, I think it kind of depends, because you were getting more of the the sweet than spicy, and I was getting just more of the spicy. So it's hard for me to kind of tell, like, if you like sweet and spicy, you would like this, or if you like spicy, you'd like this, because we got such different ones. But I'd say you'd probably have to at least have an interest in spiciness, because that's something that we both got.
Yeah, but do you have an interest in spices? Would you want more of this, or
Me
can I
personally?
have the rest of your glass?
I think you can have the rest of my glass.
Wouldn't be your favorite? No. And we will find a bourbon that you like. If you have suggestions for bourbons that she might like, let us know down in the comments. Maybe the Angel's Envy, like that one with the port finish.
But just to know, I'm an Irish whiskey girl. I really am. Single grain, pot still. Give me good Irish whiskey any day. The
Irish whiskey, I did kind of spoil her with some very good quality Irish whiskies when I got her into whiskey, and I think I will find you a bourbon you like. This one might not be it, but that means I get to enjoy both of these.
Which is a rarity.
Which is an eagle rarity. We put out whiskey reviews every Wednesday. We put out cocktail recipes every Friday. Every now and then we put out different kind of videos on a Monday. So if you want to see more like that, make sure you scroll down, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, and while you're there, let us know a bourbon you'd suggest that she might like, that she would maybe get past that spiciness into that sweetness and into the world of bourbon. But for now, I'm going to see you next time. Sláinte.
Bye bye.